So this week I've been on the East Coast and visiting New York City, and I'm here on 42nd Street Broadway, and I thought this might be a good opportunity to do a video about your log line. And you know, I think your log line is probably one of the most important pieces of writing that you will ever do. And you know, I find that log lines can be very challenging for writers, because writers are basically programmed to write, and log lines really are supposed to be very concise and not very long. And that's kind of the way producers want to see them. But that's where the disconnect comes in, because writers sometimes have trouble kind of encapsulating their stories. So anyway, the first thing I want to tell you about your log line, and if it's an effective log line, it'll get people to really want to read your script, right? It'll kind of tease the ending of the story, so people will want to know more, and they'll want to request your script, and they'll want to read it. So this log line should really be very concise, should only be about 2 or 3 sentences long. And you want to start with your protagonist. And you want to tell it from the perspective of your protagonist. That's the best way to approach the log line. So you want to introduce your protagonist, and you want to talk about maybe some descriptor about your protagonist that indicates some kind of inner conflict or inner turmoil. And this is important because conflict is what drives the story. And when you introduce your protagonist, that's when you can indicate that there might be something going on with your protagonist, something that they have to go through, something they have to learn. And that would be the inner conflict. Now, apart from that, you want to then introduce the outer conflict, right? The antagonistic element. And you want to talk about how that impacts the story, okay? Now, a couple other things you want to do. You want to include the title, you want to include the format, and you want to include the genre. Okay, that's very important. And you don't want to give away the ending. You want to just kind of tee it up for them so they're curious and they want to know more. The other thing you can do in your log line is indicate the theme, you know, what the movie is all about. Because like I say, if you're going to tell a story, there should be a point to it. And in your log line, you have an opportunity to indicate what the overall storytelling is all about, what the import of the story might be. Okay, so let me show you a little bit of 42nd Street here. It's not actually technically 42nd Street. We're right off Broadway. I think this is really 43rd or 44th Street maybe. But theater over there. Sunlight and Hot's playing. Here. New York City, you can't be beat. It's been raining this week a little bit, and actually rain is the reason why filmmakers had to move out to California, because it's a lot sunnier out there and they can make movies all during the day and for most of the year, because they have plenty of light to do it. Because at the turn of the century, obviously, we didn't have cameras with lights, so they needed to use the sunlight. And I showed you what Edison did with his studio, the Black Maria, how it rotated to kind of capture the sunlight, and kind of a very innovative design back then. But here we are around 42nd Street. or in the Broadway area in the theater district, I'd say. And this is kind of where, before movies, it was all, it was all happening here. It's the theater. That was the big thing at the time. And then Edison invented that motion picture camera, and that changed everything, like new technologies usually do. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, hit me up. Please like and share all of the videos and all of my posts, and I'll talk to you soon.